Hey, my wandering wanderers. Today we're actually going to take time to talk about the twin flame concept and construct and how to really understand and go about this perception of twin flames. Okay. I would like to make it known to everybody. This is just my information based off of how I understood this concept. Also, this is based off of my own concept of spirituality and the construct of returning to self. So that being said, all this information I have for you is based off of my own experiences. So please remember to take the time to maybe utilize this information if you have to, but take the time to experience these things for yourself so you can discern and find out what works for you and what does not work for you. So that being said, like twin flames. The concept of twin flames, or at least my own preconceived notion of what twin flames were, was like, it was supposed to be like this relationship, like supposedly it was like going to be like this end all be all relationship that you kind of like I heard partnership earlier, where you run through and you theoretically meet the person of your dreams. Thought it was like destined to be together, waiting for your other half, and whatnot. But as I took the time to kind of like go with the flow and comprehend the things that like the information I was getting from everyone, it didn't feel like I was making much progress. It didn't feel like there was much progress being made, and so it's kind of like it kind of turned into like, well, I'm gonna focus on me, I'm gonna stay on me because like I am this energy, or I'm gonna focus on me and do these things because I'm like X energy, and I'm waiting for this supposed person is supposed to come through and pick up the slack so we can be where we need to be. And so what actually ended up happening is that throughout this process I have come to discover that this journey is, or at least this concept of twin flames is actually taking time to understand your own masculine and feminine energies, taking time to understand your masculine, feminine energies from the perspective of self, how that affects you and your reality / subspace that you live in, understanding how they function, how they work together, because they're two parts of a whole, so that they're supposed to actually work in tandem with one another and not one and then the other happens. And you have to understand how like those energies or how they communicate with one another, so that you can be of your highest self and be on your journey or your path, wherever your path is supposed to take you. That being said, now I perceive, this is just my perception of what I perceive what is actually happening, is that there are people who are out here whom may identify so hard with the construct of an energy, and but are not taking the time to understand the other part of the energy. There are some people, it's like, yeah, some people understand one part but not the other part. Some people are out here understanding certain components of it but not understanding why. This is why a lot of people are talking about like, yeah, you guys need to do the work. Yeah, you guys need to do the work. Like, the work is literally taking time to understand how these energies function together and understanding why. So it's not so much as like, oh, I'm a feminine energy and the masculine energies aren't doing anything, or I'm a masculine energy and stuff is not working, or I'm a feminine energy but I keep getting the same stuff and over again, but I'm doing my part but things haven't changed. The whole premise of how one is supposed to go about this is you have to take time to explore yourself so you can actually understand why you do the things you do, so you can recognize what your path is, so that eventually it's not going to be possible to be steered off your path because you did the work to understand how your path is being laid out for you, if that makes sense. Okay, and I also want to reiterate that once you find yourself, like everything is going to fall in place. Like it's gonna be like, yes, follow the yellow brick road. Except for the yellow brick road will only start to formulate in front of you when you take the time to understand the components of the road itself. I hope that makes sense. That being said, in the context of divine counterparts, okay, and this is the part that people really got, like, it's kind of like the construct of divine counterparts in the twin flame component is kind of like the carrot, like, kind of like, it's like a carrot, it's like a caveat. I want to say it's a caveat where it's kind of like the stick that they put in front of you, kind of like, yeah, if you do it, you're like, yeah, not knocking it because it totally makes sense. But in the construct of divine counterparts, if you take the time to follow your own path, like your own authentic path, like you're gonna summon a divine counterpart. Like it's gonna happen, whether you want to or not. Like it's gonna happen, and when this happens, you're gonna know who this person is. Like you're gonna know how you're gonna know is unique to you and only you. But that being said, in the context of divine counterparts, which is the things that people are more focused on versus the twin flame construct, which is like, they're inherently linked to one another, but everybody's more focused on divine counterparts versus the twin flame component that leads to the divine counterpart conception. Okay, conception. What was it? I heard this line earlier today. Sometimes the sounds of goodbye is louder than any drum beat. Okay, so that means like whenever you guys are going through this, what do you guys call it? Like a runner chaser dynamic. There's a reason behind it. It's not so much that, oh, he's running and I'm waiting for them to stop running, or she's chasing me and I want her to stop chasing me. Like, no, like there is a reason behind this, because it's like you've gotten to a point in your twin flame progress that you started to summon a divine counterpart. Now, in the instance that you actually, when you get to the point to recognize whom they are, because in some instances you may recognize them, but they haven't recognized you yet because they haven't done their work. This does happen sometimes. But, in the instance that whatever part of the spectrum that you're in, some of you may have identified a divine counterpart, and you could be wondering, why the F is this person my divine counterpart? Like why? Like literally the why. And some of you guys have to take the time to find out by going within, because it could be that there are, more than likely there are energetic components that are creating this pull towards this person, or it could be this person's coming towards you and you don't energetically understand why, and so there's a need for you to take some time to explore yourself to understand why this person is coming in energetically. And another instance for some of you who do know who your counterpart is, but you're kind of like cosmically being kept away from them, it is because it is also part of your journey to take the time to explore yourself, but kind of explore yourself in the component of, at least on this end, like why you're not like doing the things within you. Like it's like energetically you recognize something outside of you, but you haven't taken the time to actually follow through on the components that you resonate with. It's like, yeah, I'm hearing like talk is cheap. Like, it's not so much as saying that you're XYZ. You have to energetically like be you have to be an energetic match physically and mentally and like physically, mentally, within you, outside of you. Like, it's two parts of the same whole. So that being said, sometimes it could be that there are things or patterns that you are doing if you are on this side of the spectrum of this divine counterpart situation. It could be that there are things that you are doing that you are being requested to recognize, or there's things that you're not doing that you're being requested to follow up on. It's kind of like you've recognized part of the twin flame concept, but like one part of the part or component of the twin flame concept, and so we need you, like, and so we've revealed the carrot to you, but we need you to take time to understand why you're doing this, so you can finally understand why everything is syncing up. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. And so there's like the what was it? I was hearing what was that song, like Post Malone song called, like, is it like Goodbyes? It's that line where it says, yeah. Yeah, it's that line there. It says, no way I could save you because I gotta be saved too. Like, you have to save yourself before anybody else can come through. And the more you take time to work on your stuff, the more like the universe is gonna be like, ooh, like, I see you vibing this while you're pulling this. Okay, like, go on, do your thing, you know. So that being said, in the like, just to recap real quick, in the concept or construct of divine counterparts, you, in order to pull in your divine counterpart, if that's what you're focused on, you need to focus on your masculine and feminine energies, because they're two parts of the same whole. And I will make a video to explain that a bit more. I heard I'm no good at goodbyes. Yeah, it's okay. I will take the time to explain that a little bit more in another video, but the whole premise is of the twin flame concept / construct is you have to take time to understand your masculine, your internal and external masculine energies. There you go. And you also have to take time to understand your own internal and external feminine energies and how they both work together and how they sync up together so they can guide you back to your source. Because when you take the time to do the work, you start living your best. Yeah, you start living your best life, and I'm living a little bit. I know. And once you take time to do that, you'll be living your best life. And you know, when you're doing you living your best life, like, you know, you're gonna be like, I'm living life, and the love of my life shows up, and everything is, you know, picturesque. It's either picturesque or statuesque. I don't know. But I digress. I hope that this video was relatively helpful. This is probably just the tip of the iceberg. And there will be more videos that will be coming forth later on to help debunk and delineate exactly the things that people should be looking for. It's not so much, and I will wholeheartedly admit that this is not so much as in this is exactly what you're supposed to do, because, you know, everybody's spiritual journey is unique to them and only them, and to have to quantify exactly what you should be doing, like physically saying verbatim, this is what you should do, is counterintuitive to your own progress. I mean, we don't you know, grade every animal's based off of how fast they walk on land. I mean, like, look at a fish. Like, what's a fish gonna do? You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I will take the time to delineate the overarching structure, pattern, construct. Thank you. Delineate the overarching construct for that, so that could help people identify what is it that they're exactly supposed to be working on. Because eventually, when you start doing the work, because let's be real, like if you're on the spiritual journey and you're not doing the work, like it's gonna be noticeable. But you'll know when you start doing the work, because then shit's gonna start lining up, and you're just gonna be like, oh hey, and then this is gonna happen. Like, let me rephrase this: shit's gonna start lining up, and synchronicities are gonna be happening. I don't mean like in the context of numbers, like shit's gonna be popping off because this is happening and this is happening and this event has occurred because this, and you thought about this, and it's gonna be crazy. So I hope this information is helpful for you. Please only take what resonates with you, and by all means, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.